Hello, 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 world. This is Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. And I'm going to chat a little bit with you about Super Bowl halftime 59, where Kendrick Lamar was brilliant. I really enjoyed the halftime. It was one of the best that I have seen, actually. And I know there were a lot of negative comments from MAGA. And obviously, they did not understand the message. It wasn't all about the performance, it was about the message. And I just wanted to come in and give my perspective about the brilliance of what Kendrick Lamar did. And also, I really love the fact that Samuel L. Jackson was part of this brilliance. And let me just share a quick picture of Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam. It was really, really cool what happened. So I'm going to share that with you too, because he was really good. And uh, let's see, Samuel L. Jackson plus SZA was there, and Serena Williams gave a brief cameo. So it was really a good run, and it was just a brilliant show. And with that said, I'm just going to share and tell you the story because I know that's what Kendrick Lamar said. He said he was going to do some storytelling, and I love telling stories because storytelling is really what helps us to better understand what's going on in the world. And there's a lot of hate going on, and these songs really didn't divide America. And that's what I want to talk about pretty much is that the songs did not divide America. America was already divided before this song or any of these songs came along. So let me share this quickly. This is Kendrick Lamar just out there doing his thing, and he really gave an A plus, I would say, performance and message, and his delivery was well received by those who really understood what was going on. And he was on point, it was on time. The dancers were great, and it was just almost to perfection, or to perfection, really, how they had everything choreographed, and it was just great. And for you to watch the full video, I think you can get the full gist of everything that I'm going to talk about when I share this with you, that I'm going to do the storytelling by sharing something that I put together because I felt this was very important and compelling. So this is why I really wanted to bring it to you the way I see it as a baby boomer, like Samuel L. Jackson. And for those who criticized and said it was this and that, all the negativity, either you are a hater or you just didn't understand the message. So I don't know which one it was, whichever one, you take your pick. It could have been both, but I believe in speaking up and speaking out because I always reference that scripture, 2 Timothy 1:7. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And that's why I speak up and speak out because I know, being a baby boomer myself, living pretty much in a few weeks, 74 years in America, I know what he was talking about. And being a young, brilliant man, 37 years of age, high school straight A student, he put this together so brilliantly and such a powerful message. I mean, powerful. And if you don't have that mindset to understand, do some research because I'm going to give a little quick story as well. And then I'm going to be out because I did not want to do a long video. Because if you go and watch the video, it's about 13 minutes long. It's brilliant. It will tell the story. Just listen to it, and you can tell the story about why he said the revolution is about to be televised. And he goes on to say, you picked the right time, but the wrong guy. That's a powerful statement. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. So the right time is right. And maybe when he was talking about the wrong guy, I wonder, was he talking about Gil Scott-Heron? Because in 1970, he penned the song, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Huron was a jazz poet, a musician, and activist who wrote about the racism and oppression of our people that still exists today. And this divisiveness was not created by our song, as many would like to say, because of all the controversy that was over Lift Every Voice and Sing, which was the Black National, coined as the Black National Anthem. And I didn't see anything in that particular song that was divisive. And also, um, there was a lot of criticism about it. And some were saying, particularly, I guess, the MAGA people that couldn't cope with it and need to take a chill pill because I didn't have an issue with them playing either song or both. Fine with me. But some were saying, oh no, the real American song is the one written by uh, Francis Scott Key, who was a slave owner. And that particular song definitely has negative overtones in it about slavery, which we know is what created this divisiveness is slavery. And that's sad, and some people would like to see us wipe away our entire history. However, that should not happen. That is why it is so important that we teach our children our history so that they will know the root cause of this divisiveness. And these songs did not create it. So I have to give a shout out, a huge shout out to Kendrick Lamar, being a 37-year-old and to put together a brilliant halftime show that had such a powerful message. And I have to give a great shout out to Samuel L. Jackson, who was brilliant as well. And he understands and understood exactly what the message was all about, being that he narrated everything. And it was just, it was so well put together. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Dave Free, who was one of the directors, along with Kendrick Lamar, who directed this halftime show. The dancers were just brilliant. They were on point as well. And I don't think I've seen a better halftime that gave such an empowering message. And I'd also like to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles 40 to Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs 22, and also to the MVP, Jalen Hurts. And I'm going to do a little follow up about the actual game, but I just wanted to come in and talk about this halftime because it has a lot of impact upon what is going on in America today with all of the hate that's going on and the divisiveness, and MAGA can't cope. And like I said, they need to go take a chill pill because white supremacists really is a major part of all of this divisiveness and the root cause. I mean, we have to be true, and Kendrick Lamar talked about truth in this halftime. And that was something that we all need to face up to, the truth. And we should, as Gil Scott-Heron said, the revolution would not be televised. And when he penned this song in 1970, it wasn't the time, apparently, but now is the time. And this is what Kendrick Lamar did. And when he said the revolution is about to be televised. And I have to repeat it because it was televised. I mean, he brought his A game. And this was a brilliant message performance, one of the best I've seen. And that is my perspective on it because it's time that we face the reality and the truth of the racism and the oppression in this country. That is what the divisiveness is all about. It's not about these songs, it's about the actions and what's in the heart. And one thing we can't do, we cannot regulate a person's heart. You can put all the songs out that you want to put out, and we know that we aren't born with this hate. This hate is taught. No one is born with this hate. It's about what you're being taught. And if you're taught it and it's ingrained in you and you stay with it, you will die with it. And it can make your life miserable. It's easier to love than to hate. So Kendrick Lamar, I'm so impressed with what you did with this halftime. Being a 37-year-old straight A student, you came through as to who you are and what you represent. Now, in terms of rap, I'm not a person that's into all of this rap music. And the reason being is because it's toxic, because of the lyrics in the rap music, calling women out of our name, Black women. And we're not deserving of that. And some behaviors are not, they're inappropriate. However, that's something we have to work on. And I know that's something Dr. Claude Anderson talks about a lot. And we need to read more. In fact, go grab his books, Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, The Black History Reader, Dirty Little Secrets. I've met him in person. I have his books. And I think it's something that we need to start doing is reading more because reading does open the mind to great possibilities and opportunities. And we need to have our children to understand the root cause of the problems here. And it's about truth. It's about learning our history. And this is Black History Month. And I believe that Black history should be and is celebrated, as far as I'm concerned, on a daily basis. That's what we have to recognize and realize. Our Black history is not, it's good to celebrate it the month of February, 1 month. However, Black history to me is every day. Every day that I breathe, I believe in Black history because our people have contributed so much, and we are brilliant people. And maybe that's what's making some of these MAGA people so upset and saying the negative things about this halftime performance. And if, like I said, if you don't understand it, go and read and find these lyrics. The revolution will not be televised. That was penned by Gil Scott-Heron in 1970. In fact, I was about 18 or 19 because I believe he passed away in about 2011. And when he penned this, he probably was early 20s because I remember it well. And a lot of you millennials, Gen X's, and Z's, you may not have ever heard of him, just like a lot of you have never heard of Fannie Lou Hamer. And I'm sure most of you should have heard of Marcus Garvey. He was just pardoned by outgoing President Biden, which is a good thing because he didn't deserve what happened to him. And I can attest to the racism that it still exists. It exists in housing. It exists in education, finance, financial institutions, because I've lived it. And what Lamar, Kendrick Lamar brought, he only told the truth. There was truth in it. And I'm happy that he did what he did because the revolution is about to be televised, and that's what he did. Gil Scott-Heron said it will not be, but he came in a different era. And believe me, in 1970, I graduated from high school in 1969. And in 1970, I was in college. I have a bachelor's degree in social work, and I do understand, and I'm sure Uncle Sam, Samuel L. Jackson, who is one of my favorite actors, he understands too. He knows what it's all about. And he was part of this historical 13 minutes of Super Bowl halftime 59. And I would suggest to go and watch the lyrics, watch the 13 minutes. If you didn't see it, watch it by all means. And then go and, well, prior to watching it, perhaps go and pull the lyrics for The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And then you will have a better understanding of what Kendrick Lamar brought because it was brilliant. And it was one of the best Super Bowl halftime performance that I have witnessed. And I'm sure is because he brought out some truth that all of us need to think about, particularly us in the Black community, and learn to bring that unity to our community because it's important that we come together as a community, as a people. That's vital for our survival. So I'd like to thank Kendrick Lamar for his brilliant performance and his brilliant message and how he delivered it. It was so cool. I just can't give him enough accolades for what he did. And as for MAGA, if you can't cope, like I said, take a chill pill and do some due diligence. Of course, we know you can't regulate a person's heart, whatever's in their heart, unless they do something about it. It's nothing we can do about it except move forward as a people. And don't worry about what MAGA people are thinking because I know I don't. I don't even concern myself with all of that. I concern myself with righteousness and elevation of my people to a higher level of consciousness so that we can move forward and do what we need to do to elevate ourselves for generational wealth and legacy for our children. And this is what this message is all about. And for if you don't understand it, like I said, do some due diligence research, read, because that's the only way we're going to get to understand what the root cause is of all of this divisiveness in America. And it all stemmed from one word, slavery. And this song really brought out the racism in this country. It brought out about the white supremacists who are the oppressors. But however, I do not fall prey to all of these distractions. We have to stay focused. And if we stay focused, we can, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, overcome. And we can have that generational wealth, even though we know that the debt is owed because our forefathers worked for free under the most adverse circumstances. But still, as Maya Angelou say, still we rise. And we're going to keep on rising. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Kendrick Lamar. You've made history here. in a positive way, no matter what the MAGAs people say they can't cope because they need a chill pill. Keep doing what you're doing and giving out some positivity. And I understand that you recognize and realize what's going on. I believe you are a millennial too. So keep it moving. And as I tell you, I'm Louise Hicks, your host of this podcast. Please share, please subscribe, and by all means, look up Jill, Gil Scott-Heron. Look up the lyrics to The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, and you will have a better understanding of what this halftime was all about. And do your due diligence, read more so we can come together in unity, harmony, and move forward because life is too short to be distracted with some of this negativity, what others are saying, because if they're unrighteous minded, you can't regulate their heart. So let's just move forward. And again, congratulations to Jalen Hurts for being the MVP and to Philadelphia Eagles. And I was asked, well, who are you for? And who's going to win? I said Philadelphia, and they will win. And look what happens. Philadelphia won Super Bowl 59, 2025. And congratulations. So, with that said, I am Louise Hicks again. Subscribe, share, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and have that renewing of the mind because the mind is powerful and that's something nobody can take away your brilliance and whatever your purpose is. I hope you realize that and use it in a positive way because that's what will create the success and the desires of your heart. And with that said, your power lies within you. Let it loose because your destiny is your command. And until the next video, much love. I'll stop sharing.